This is Liberty's litter. The little one with the purple ribbon. She's the liveliest so far, little Kiwi. She just got up and walked all over the place and then came back. Hi, you little crybaby, Cookie. Hi, Cookie. Cookie's a boy. Where you going, Cookie? Oh, I see why you got up and went for a little walkabout. Somebody went potty. Oh, don't step in it. You gotta go potty too? You're trying to sneak off? We'll just cover that up so we can put it in the laundry. They're 3 weeks old. Just starting to get up and walk and sit. And not too steady yet. One big one over there. That's Kona, the orange one. And then the black's a boy. Black ribbon is Casey. So, big. Oh, you little girly. Big boy, big boy, big boy. Oh, I know. Did that scare you? Oh, it's just your mama. Oh, are you happy? Grabbed you from behind. You didn't know who it was. Front row are the boys. Look at that one big boy in the middle. You're the big boy, Kona. See, if I didn't see you be born, I would think you went to a different litter. So I have moved him. He's been with Harmony's litter because it's a bigger litter. So I took the big one from Liberty's and the little one from Harmony's. And I switched them so that they could get the correct amount of milk from their mother and not be pushed out of the litter. So their substitute moms are doing very good at raising them. It gets a little confusing for me, but I have to switch them around when it comes to pictures and videos. See, the girls, now they're all the same size there. You got the red ribbon and the yellow and the purple. Red ribbon is Kelsey. Yellow's Kate. And purple Kiwi. Yeah, there's my little sweeties, the little girls. Hi. Hi, sweet little girls. They're all snuggling together to keep warm here in the office because where they're at in the nursery, the floor is heated to 98 degrees because puppies cannot, keep their own body temperature up until they're well over 3 weeks old. So we have the heated floor to make sure they're strong and healthy and comfortable. Little puppy dreams. Kona sure has a long, beautiful coat already. And the rest of you will catch up. See, what happens with breeding dogs are they to have two gestation tubes. So they go in heat, and then they can actually breed for about 2 weeks maximum. Sometimes it's a week to 10 days. Sometimes it can be 2 weeks. So they're conceiving that whole time. So basically then when the puppies are born, they're all born at the same time. So you could end up where Kona was like in the first conception stage and he's just older than the rest. Because when mom goes into labor, then all the puppies are born at the same time. I seen it one time in a first generation, the golden retriever mom and dad, they only hooked up twice, and it was exactly 2 weeks apart. I was actually letting them just out to run in the front yard, and all of a sudden they were hooked up, and I thought mom was done because it had been 2 weeks since she showed any interest in dating. And then when the puppies were born, she had 4 little babies and 4 large babies. So it was clear separation there that she had conceived twice. She only hooked up twice, 2 weeks apart. So it really helped me to understand the breeding process whenever I had seen that. You know, they're still going to end up the same size. You know, that's why sometimes somebody will take home the runt in the litter thinking, well, it's going to stay the smallest. And they end up with the biggest dog in the litter because it actually wasn't a runt. It was just conceived later. And, you know, thus with education over the years on breeding too, that's why the go-home date was moved to 8 weeks old rather than, you know, 20, 30 years ago, people would send the puppies home at 6 weeks old, sometimes even 5, and the puppies, you know, weren't even, they could have been just 2 weeks younger than the other puppies, and they could have only been actually 3 or 4 weeks old, which really makes it hard for house training and making sure they're eating enough food. And now we send them home in such a controlled environment. So years ago when I started breeding and I started researching all this, I thought 6 weeks was the magic number. Then as I got into researching, I figured out it was 8 weeks. So we've always done 8 weeks. I see a big difference in the aging process between 6 and 8 weeks. Some of the petites and the pocket doodles that I'm starting to do, they're going to go home later even, you know, 9, 10 weeks. And that'll be on per puppy basis. You know, just in case I have a little one. I've been known sometimes to keep that tiniest one in the litter until they're 12 weeks old before I've let them go home. But I don't see any in the litter like that. These guys are all big and healthy. I've seen even in a mini-sized litter one time. I had one at 6 weeks old that was no bigger than these little guys, and he was up running around, and he could fit through the kennel wiring. At, you know, even at 8 weeks old, we called him he liked visiting all the other puppies, so he would crawl through the kennel wiring from litter to litter and visit all the different litters. And that puppy even ended up growing up to weigh 28 pounds. So, I mean, he caught up in the end, but he was a preemie, not a runt. He was probably a preemie. And gosh, that's been a good 5-6 years ago. That little baby went to the Baker family. They actually have 3 of my dogs in their house, and then they bought their 4th one for their daughter who was going off to grad school. And I tell this story all the time because I have a trainer whose name is Andrea Bauer, and it was the Baker family that had given me her information when they came back to get their 4th puppy, because they said they were going directly from my house over to the trainer to drop the puppy off for training like they had with the previous 3 puppies. So I asked them who the trainer was and got her information that way. Because I figure if somebody's sending their 4th puppy to the same trainer, then they must be impressed with this trainer. And she is a very good trainer if anyone ever wanted her information. Like that, the girls and the boys are segregated. A little chillier in here, they're piling up. I will get your new pictures taken today and then put you back with Mama. Yeah, your Mama's such a sweet lover. Just love her to death.